Welcome to Co-Creating Now with Monica Goyal. Monica is a spiritual counselor and healer with a life purpose to put people in touch with their innate healing abilities, empowering them to live a life full of joy, love, peace, and abundance. Through this show, you'll learn to heal every aspect of your life by connecting to your higher self. And now your host, Monica Goyal, on the OMTimes Radio Network.
Welcome to Co-Creating Now. Hope you all are doing great, living a blissful life. Here we have our special guest, Nita Goyal, once again, for this beautiful conversation on living an authentic life by honoring our real self. Little bit background on Nita. She was here on February 3rd, and she discussed her own journey into spirituality and also how we can manifest the life of our dreams. And here we are again with Nita, and very grateful to her for joining us back to dive even deeper. She is a visionary New Age author and herself a very, very spiritual person who has taken a deep dive in and meditated for years to seek the answers that she will be sharing with us and helping us accept ourselves, transcend those deepest fears that hold us back from manifesting the life that we so want. Welcome, Nita. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Hi, Monica. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
How are you doing this morning?
Monica, I have to admit I was feeling nervous when I woke up this morning, and then I remembered I will be talking to you, and it calmed me down.
That's so sweet of you. And again, Nita, we all are here on the journey, and you know that you are the one, I really look up to you for so many answers that I've found in conversations with you, the depth you have. And I'm so grateful to you for joining us back. And our listeners are grateful as well, I know.
The feeling is mutual. And thank you so much, all, for having me back the second time. I cannot thank you all enough for the feedback I got since the last show. Everyone has been amazing.
Great. Welcome back. So I know we both share same last name, so there is a curiosity among our listeners, and we got a lot of questions about that, how we are related. So yes, we are related, and that journey started almost 18 years ago in India when we met in a get together, in a gathering. Still remember, and tell me if I'm wrong, Nita, like as soon as we met, there was this, we both felt so comfortable, and we both were questioning life. Our questions were similar, and it was almost like we were on the same quest.
Absolutely. You made quite an impression on me. As I recall, it was within first 5 or 10 minutes we were talking about spirituality and meditation.
And yeah, I still remember I felt, the conversation was so short as we both had to go back home. And so it's very interesting. We started writing letters to each other, and our letters were all about these questions about life.
Yes.
Uh, so it's very interesting that few months later, Nita got married to my cousin, and we are sister-in-laws now.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm very grateful for her, for being in my life and even related to me by family. Thank you so much, Nita.
Oh, you're welcome, Monica, and thank you. Um, it never ceases to amaze me how everything developed. And 18 years later, my respect and love for you has only grown deeper and stronger. So thank you. Thank you for inviting me again on this show, for giving me this platform to express myself.
Feelings are mutual. So yes, so we are back to our topic for today, our conversation for today with Nita. She will help us, answer our questions about what holds us back from accepting ourselves, and then also give us processes and tools so we can get out of our deepest fears and live the life of joy, love, and peace. So, Nita, little bit about your journey once again, if you would like to share about you, how your book came about, and what was the motivation behind that? What was the inspiration behind that?
You know, as I mentioned in my last show, since I was a child, I had these questions, how everything works, who am I? Most important, who am I?
Yeah,
And I really feel, and I really suggest that actually we have a responsibility. All of us have a responsibility to ask this question: Who am I? Because we know who we are in a general sense, but what is our essence, what is the underlying essence? So those were the questions that bothered me as a child also. There was this huge word standing in front of me.
mm-hmm.
How did it ever came into being? So in 2005, I got into meditation in a big way. I learned a technique from an organization and I started practicing it. And it started to happen then that, one day in a flash, I experienced something immense. And I would say, my life has not remained the same since. Mm, it shook the foundation on which the mind was standing and carrying
Yeah,
itself or previous concepts, ideas, and conditioning. And from there on, the real journey began. And there were a lot of thoughts were coming to me. I started writing them. And down the road, after 1 or 2 years, I realized, I can organize it into a book. And since I myself is a very ardent reader and a lot of books have inspired me, so I figured, if my book could inspire or answer some of the questions, that would be great. That would be
that's
enough.
so wonderful. That's so wonderful. Anita, tell me, was this journey challenging? Has this journey been challenging for you in any ways? Like, was it hard?
It depends. Challenging, I would say, challenges come from the mind itself. So there's no
Mm-hmm.
outside challenge. It's not like some obstacle is there on the road.
Right.
But it's just like, because since we have our mind is crowded with so many beliefs and concepts,
Mm-hmm.
to decondition them is, or it's like re-educating yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, going to school once more. So it could be challenging depending on how stuck we are
Yeah.
in our old concepts and conditioning.
And I'm sure, we all are. I mean, I'm talking about myself, but, I have felt on my spiritual journey, it's always like, one step forward, two steps backward. It's like so many internal, I would say, there is sometimes so much internal struggle. There is, like you said, it's so hard to accept yourself, especially when you are on spiritual path. Sometimes it's just hard to, recognize a few things that you don't like about yourself. Like it's really hard to accept those in yourself and then overcome them.
Yes, absolutely. That's a journey, that's the time of a lifetime, or many lifetimes, as I say.
Exactly, I know.
Monica, for many, many years, I wanted to live authentic life,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't know what it meant, or
Right.
what it even looked like to live an authentic life, much less how to live one. A
So
few,
share with us.
yes. Um, few years back, while I was meditating, and I believe that time I was being guided, there's no doubt in my mind that higher intelligence was guiding me in its unique, incomprehensible way.
Mm-hmm.
I had the thought flash across my mind: be kind to yourself,
Yeah.
honor yourself, accept yourself. That's authenticity.
Yeah, that's so
When,
important.
isn't it?
Yeah.
When you honor yourself, you honor the entire creation because you are part of the creation. When you accept some aspects of your personality and reject others, then you're being inauthentic. In a way, dishonoring not just yourself, but everything that you are, the being, the totality of the universe. You're dishonoring life.
Mm-hmm. I
That's a
totally
very
agree.
huge moment for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, what we don't give to ourselves or what is not within, it's not possible to give it to anyone else.
Absolutely, absolutely, Monica. You know, talking to you about it reminds me of a powerful Zen story.
Mm-hmm.
There was a gardener who got a message that a very respected Zen monk was going to visit his garden in 3 days. And the gardener was very happy. He took pride in his garden. So, for 3 days, he raked the leaves, pruned the flowers, mowed the grass. He made sure the garden was beautiful and perfect. Nothing was out of place. When Zankman came, he showed him with pride, the hard work he did.
Yeah.
He was very happy. The Zen monk didn't seem happy at all. So
And
Gardner was very disappointed. He respected him very much, so he didn't say much. But then finally he asked him, "Why don't you think this is beautiful? This garden is perfect." So the monk said, only a dead person can think your garden is beautiful.
oh.
Not an alive or aware person can think like that. You want to see beautiful and perfect? You have to come with me. So the gardener though he was disappointed, he was also curious. He said, "Okay, if you think my garden is not beautiful, I want to know what is perfect then.
Mm-hmm.
I respect you, I believe you, show me." So he followed him. The monk took him to a forest.
Mm-hmm.
It took them the entire day, but he took him to deep into the forest. And there the monk said, "Look around. Nothing is forced
Yeah.
here. Everything, everyone is accepted here. There are
Wow.
dead branches, there are dead trees along with living trees. There are flowers in bloom, and there are flowers that have fallen off and withered. There
Yeah.
are dead birds on the ground, and there are birds on the trees. Bugs, insects, dirt everywhere.
Conscious connection to a
Nature
more
does not
meaningful
reject any.
world. OMTimes Radio. IOM
Hi, this is Sylvia Henderson, intuitive life coach and energy healer. Are you ready to elevate and rise way above your normal? Be sure to listen to my show, Intuitive Transformations, on OMTimes Radio, Sunday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern. Get the inspiration you need to transform your life.
The number one reason girls drop out of school in sub-Saharan Africa is lack of access to feminine hygiene products. The Pads for Schoolgirls Project, an outreach of Humanity Healing International, is changing this paradigm by setting up sewing programs at schools, teaching girls a vocational skill, while producing the reusable pads that help keep them attending classes. The girls pay it forward by making and giving pad kits to other girls in need. To learn more, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Have you bought into the idea that you have to work hard for your money, that business is hard? I will share some dynamic access consciousness tools to get you out of your own way so you can create a business that actually succeeds. Join me, Simone Millisers, on The Joy of Business at 4 p.m. Mondays Eastern.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
And we are back with our Zen story.
Yes, Monica. So the basic moral of the story was the Zen monk showed him that this is perfection, where the nature does not reject anything, not the garden from which he took away undesirable things, which were undesirable according to him.
Yeah.
He told him, yes, your garden looked neat and clean, but not beautiful. The imperfections would have made it beautiful. Either accept all or reject all. There's no
Wow.
other way to be alive. Honor everything because everything is divine.
Such a deep lesson, such a truth of
Yes,
accepting in totality.
exactly. Usually we are told we have to be kind and loving towards others. We have to
Mm-hmm.
be compassionate towards others. The problem arises from the basic fault in the assumption that we can be accepting and kind towards others even when we are not kind and accepting toward ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can honor despite the crisis of not, for whatever reason, able to honor ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, even in some societies, it's all about sacrificing yourself, but making others happy,
Exactly.
not honoring at all, what makes you satisfied, what makes you happy, but just taking care of others.
Yes. We may keep an appearance of being loving and nice and accepting, but in reality, are we? We come across nice, friendly people every day.
Yeah.
But since there's so many things we want to change about ourselves, in present day way of speaking, fix ourselves, in truth, we are not being authentic to ourselves. Neither are we authentic to others, not in the real sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a behavior rather than being.
That's so true. I mean, I think if you don't honor yourself, I think there is a certain level of resentment. There is a certain level of, uh, you know, it's like, what is this? I mean, not honoring your own life. It's like you just keep accepting, but you are not really happy.
Happy. Exactly.
So,
Acceptance can be only whole.
yeah.
We can either accept whole of us with all the desirable parts and what we think are not good or which needs to be fixed, or um, the whole package. You cannot just love one aspect, few aspects, and not others of a person.
Right.
That day there were so many limiting beliefs holding me back. That dropped that day. It forced me to see beyond that
Mm-hmm.
veil. In that moment of clarity, that realization came that the only way we can love ourselves are not by trying to fix ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
by total acceptance of who we are in the present moment, not what we can be or what we want to be at some future point in time and space.
Right.
That was life changing in a way, if we can grasp this and live our life from this space,
Mm-hmm.
that I am okay the way I am in this moment, in the present.
Right. But then the question I know for several of us comes, is it not egoistical to love myself?
Monica, you have asked a very pertinent question. I can sense, though I cannot see the people listening, I can sense most of us are thinking right now the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it egoistical to love ourselves? I invite everyone to take a pause and see for themselves, is it really egoistical? Are we not judging ourselves too harshly, too unkind to make this assumption? Everyone will agree that more accepting we are of ourselves, more forgiving to our faults and shortcomings, more kind and loving we are towards others. If we observe our own behavior on everyday basis,
Mm-hmm.
we can see, right? If we are having a bad day, not feeling good about ourselves, we are more angry, we snap at people around us
That's so
more.
true.
It's not judgment by some outside entity, it's our
Mm-hmm.
own judgment against ourselves, that the negativity, fear, insecurity starts to build up in the system. We don't see it right away because it's so gradual, it's so subtle.
Right.
It builds up over a number of years and then manifests as illnesses in body or expresses in some other violent way.
So true.
Uh, I met a lady when I was attending a meditation retreat a few weeks back.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful lady. In fact, I called her up last night and asked her permission if I could use her story here today. She said it was okay as long as I
That's
change
great.
her name. So I'm using the name Meera. I don't know, Monica, why, but somehow I have affinity for this name.
Yes. And it's a beautiful name.
It's a beautiful name. We were partnered in the same group as part of the retreat.
Mm-hmm.
We all were supposed to share with each other something which we didn't like about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
She shared she didn't like the person she was. No one liked her. She came across as obnoxious, very self centered.
Mm-hmm.
She was in a powerful position. She had bad reputation that she would fire people if she didn't like them.
Wow.
People were scared of her, did whatever she asked because everybody wanted to keep their job. She
Mm.
told us, the group, that no one knew that when she was fresh out of college and got her first job, she was fired in first 4 months over something very trivial.
Uh-huh.
It was her dream job.
Wow.
It affected her so profoundly, she felt she had to put in more hours, work harder, because she truly believed in her heart that she was not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
She was too hard on herself.
Yeah.
In the process, she was making other people working in her life suffer too. She came across as egoistical, but
Mm-hmm.
in reality, she was lacking in self acceptance.
Right.
She was seeking attention, looking for validation from others because she didn't have any, right?
Yeah. It must have been really painful. I think that's really painful for all of us who do this to ourselves.
Yes. We see so much crime these days. People who are responsible for these acts, I truly believe they are the people who are so much in pain for they
Mm-hmm.
judge themselves. They are not able to accept themselves totally. I don't think being egoistical is the problem. I think lack of self love is more of a problem. Much of
You're
the
right.
violence, challenges, fightings nowadays stems from this issue. Nobody's taught, like, we are not taught how to love ourselves.
That's so true. And what is ego, anyways? It's not accepting our authentic self.
Self.
It's
Thinking some parts are good and some parts are not.
yeah, it's coming from fear.
Fear, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Fear. Yep. And I would say, like, before we rush to change things we don't like about ourselves, before we even begin to move towards fixing them, before we attempt to heal ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
understand, like, we are not broken. There's nothing to be fixed or healed. We have to accept our imperfections, our faults, regrets, our fears, because we have to honor their presence.
Mm-hmm.
They are not negative. We have to
They're
understand
not.
that they are not negative. They are part of our being. They make us whole.
Just like the weeds and dead trees made the
Trees, yes.
forest perfect.
Everything has a place.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe accepting ourselves in a way translates into accepting others too. It's a kindness, it's not egoistical.
It is, yeah. And I mean, what is wrong with accepting that you have something special to offer that no one has? I
No
mean,
one else.
because each of us is blessed by something that only we have.
Yes, Monica. I looked up in the dictionary what is the definition of authentic.
Mm-hmm.
A dictionary said not false or copied.
Yeah, how
And
true.
I bet more than 80%, even 90% of the people listening to the show would agree that we all feel like living a copied life. We are living a life that people before us have lived, life that people around us are living.
And it comes from the fear of being, rejected. We want to be accepted. We want to be loved by others.
Others, acceptance by others. We're looking for validation.
Mm-hmm.
And more than often, we hide our uniqueness, kind of sometimes ashamed of our originality
Right.
because it does not fit into any traditional way of thinking. We don't celebrate our uniqueness.
I can relate so much with it. Growing up, I always felt there was something wrong with me. I'm
Something
so
from,
different.
yes, and everybody thinks like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the entire problem arises from our pre-made limiting beliefs
Mm-hmm.
that this is how things should be, supposed to be, that this is good and this is bad. If we don't fit in this pre-made parameter of how we are expected to be, then we have to change ourselves, do something to
Yeah.
fit in the box. I don't know, maybe because of the way the world we live in today is, our social conditioning, maybe the way education system is set up in today's world, that the usual belief is it's a race. We have to win, we have to do things in a certain way to go ahead in life.
So much competition with others.
So much competition with others.
Yeah.
And so many times, the usual understanding is, since everybody thinks this is what is lacking in me, so it has to be lacking in me, and I need to address the issue
Right.
that I'm not good enough. Maybe I would never be as good as that other person.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes strong, powerful cultural limiting beliefs too.
Right.
It could be some or all of them in different combinations.
Mm-hmm.
We all have these beliefs, they don't serve us. They define our thought process to such an extent that we feel stuck in life and limited in so many ways.
That's so true. So true.
So I will request everyone not to buy into this lie, that there's something lacking, that there's something that we are supposed to do, something needs to be healed or fixed, that you have to go somewhere,
You have to be a certain way.
be someone to be accepted, yes, to be labeled as normal and successful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's
So how does it limit us?
it limits us in a way. We react to situations. We don't think like we are more than uh, what other person wants us. We
Right.
don't even see within. We are so much cluttered with the thoughts, things of the world, about other people's opinion of ourselves.
And we will be back. So please stay with us, dear listeners.
Bringing a more conscious lifestyle to your world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Join Elliot Jollish, the business therapist, each Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern for the Elliot Jollish Hour, as he interviews business experts on your behalf. And you're invited to email your business questions to questions@ecjgroup.com for answers, live, on air every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on the Elliot Jollish Hour. Simone Milasas would like you to know that business can be fun, which is why she wrote the book, Joy of Business. What if you could have the joy of business rather than the stress and struggle? Most of the time, the only thing stopping you from a thriving business is you. In the Joy of Business book, Simone gives you access consciousness tools and pragmatic ways to get out of your own way and to create the business, life, and living you know is possible and beyond what this reality says is achievable. Business is joy. It's creation. It's generative. It can be the adventure of living. You can purchase your copy of the book through Amazon or Joy of Business website, www.accessjoyofbusiness.com. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Hi, this is Angela Levesque, host of Entanglement Radio. Join me Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern for inspiring conversations with visionaries in spiritual science and conscious healing. Entanglement Radio, Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. Transcendent talk for the conscious mind.
A conscious lifestyle for a mindful life. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
We are back. So we were talking about how does it limit us?
How does it limit us? Yes, Monica.
And
You know,
you said because we react.
we react, we react, so much powerful emotions get built into our system
Mm-hmm.
that we, instead of responding to the situation, we react to that. Do's and don'ts, rights and wrongs, the concepts and beliefs that we have make one superficial. One may know what to do in a situation, but if things change, then one may become unbalanced because now ready answers are not there.
Mm-hmm.
You see, life is changing. One who is rooted in change would be able to flow with things, but others may just become stuck, not know
Right.
what needs to be done now. In a way, we have kid life the moment we say that it has to be in a certain way. If we observe history, many great inventions were made by people who refused to think, within that box thinking, traditional way of thinking. They knew life is rooted in change. Just
Mm-hmm.
observe the history. To take an example of Wright brothers, how they believed in what they thought, even it was far beyond the understanding of their peers.
Right.
And until the end, they remained authentic to themselves, and they invented planes. You
I
know,
mean, revolutionary.
there was
Who could imagine without aeroplanes? How would, it's even hard to believe that there were no planes.
there were no planes. And this is just one example. History is full of such people who were authentic to their core. They didn't let the box thinking, um, their thought process, box thinking, taint their thought process. They accepted themselves fully. They honored who they were.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I invite our listeners today, let's step out of our preconditioned attitudes and look at life with fresh eyes. Life is friendly. Anything can happen. Any possibility is possible. Life begins to suffocate when we try to live within this pre-made box of do's and don'ts. Say yes to life. Celebrate it. Celebrate your uniqueness, your being, your originality.
That's so
Don't
true.
duplicate yourself just because everybody is going one way, so you also have to go there. If it does not resonate with you, follow your own path.
So important
So
for the happiness.
for the happiness. And why do we buy into the lie? Because of the simple reason that it's familiar. Why do we follow that path? Why we clone ourselves, or duplicate ourselves? And there is fear in the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing with the known and the familiar. It brings boredom and dullness, but given some time, a deep sense of knowingness gets developed which brings a sense of security
Mm-hmm.
and belonging, even delight. And fear comes from not knowing. And in this
Right.
space of unknown, anything can happen, multiple possibilities and many opportunities also to be true to yourself. Fear, guilt, regret, if seen truly and deeply, it's not negative.
Mm-hmm.
It is purifying. It's an invitation from the universe to look deeper into the heart, to be honest with yourself and feel the aliveness. Feel the aliveness that we are. Live a life that feels truthful to the very core of our being.
Yeah.
Full of connection with the self, with the cosmos, not with the things of the world, but the world itself.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, even when we are trying to be accepted by, you know, the society or externally, doesn't that cause a lot of anxiety and fear? What if, I am not good, if I don't come up to certain expectations? I won't be accepted. So that happiness, anyways, that superficial happiness is even, is always threatened by that thought
Yes.
all the time.
And this insecurity, it builds up in the system slowly and steadily
Mhm.
until by the time it comes on the surface, it expresses itself in, so many different
Different. Yeah.
illnesses
Yeah.
or people
Exactly.
get into all this criminal activities, violent activities because they have so much of this thing in their system.
Hmm.
They were never taught or they never realized that they were not accepting themselves.
I think that's a big thing. No realization.
Yes.
Yeah. So, how to cultivate self love?
Have you noticed when you're really happy, you become very forgiving and accepting?
So true.
If a person comes to you whom you don't like very much, perhaps that person has offended you in the past in some way, or maybe you just don't like that person.
Mm-hmm.
And that day, something happened that made you extremely happy. You feel you will feel friendly towards that person.
Mm-hmm.
Just a day earlier, you disliked. So what has changed? Today you are joyful.
Right.
To cultivate self-love, in my case, from my experience, what I've realized is find if I do something which I love to do. Find something that you love to do that makes you joyful, makes you feel good about yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and do it every day. Even small things like going for a walk, dancing to your favorite song, playing a sport, anything which gives you joy.
So it
If
doesn't have to be anything big.
it doesn't have to be. Instead of obsessing about focusing on the things that you believe are wrong with you, needs to be fixed, just drop everything.
Mm-hmm.
Do something that makes you feel alive, makes your past and future to fade away into nothingness and lands you into the present moment completely. And do it every day. It could be big things also, it could be small things also. We have 24 hours in a day.
Mm-hmm.
We have to feel good about ourselves, whatever we are doing. Live from a place of love, not fear. Fill yourself with joy that there's no space left for even a thought.
Mm-hmm.
And then you will see, you are living a life from a place of health and abundance. Authenticity is accepting who you are today
Mm-hmm.
without resistance. Living that truth without any guilt, regret. Only joy.
Mm-hmm.
Magically everything would fall into place and your future would be taken care of, all paid for.
So how, okay, I agree. Like, start doing the activities that you enjoy. Just small little things for yourself. But how do I get out of the cycle of judgment?
Go deep within for at least 10 minutes to start with every day.
So
Sit with
meditate.
yourself. Meditate, sit with yourself, make a friend with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
We have to meet ourselves. We really, most of us, I didn't know before I started meditating that I knew what I was, what I wanted to do in life,
Mm-hmm.
or why I was like the way I was. You know, we have to bow down to ourselves first, the glory. We have to feel the glory that we are.
Mm-hmm.
Fall in love with the person you are.
That's so true. But I mean, what do you suggest? Like how to meditate? Because I know for most of us, it's just hard to sit still. So many thoughts. It's like you just can't reach yourself and that restlessness that comes with it. How to overcome that?
Overcome that. It has to be done on a daily basis because
Mm-hmm.
we are so filled up with all this, again, beliefs, limiting beliefs and concepts. The best I have seen, which has worked with me, is look yourself in the mirror,
Mm-hmm.
look deep into your eyes,
Mm-hmm.
meet the person behind those eyes. The presence that is behind those eyes, that is all encompassing. Think about a thing you don't like about this person you see in the mirror. If you have time, two things, three things, five things, what you really don't like. And three things you absolutely love about yourself.
Yourself. So basically, when you look into your own eyes, you're looking into your soul.
Into
That
your soul.
authentic you, that loving you.
Yes, Monica. And I bet you don't, the things you don't like came quickly, and there were few more too you could have thought if you had more time.
Mm-hmm.
And the things which you absolutely love about yourself, it's hard to come by. You have to think hard.
Mm-hmm. So, from my own experience, one thing I would like to add, when you look at yourself in the mirror, I know it might be hard for a lot of us to look at ourselves in that way in the mirror, but I have seen it's easier when you just look into your eyes.
Yes,
It's like all the truth, all the love then starts flowing.
absolutely. But Monica, what happens is for many of us, like you said, it's not easy even to look into the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to feel like instead of thinking, yes, the soul who's behind is coming up, but for some it would be the person, the physical person. They see just the physical person they are.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to accept everything about themselves, the good and the bad, the thing which they are thinking which are not desirable, which they think is not desirable in them.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many features they might not like. They might not like their eyes or their voice or their hair. It could be anything, or it could
Yeah.
be personality trait. Maybe they are short-tempered or anything.
Yeah. But it starts with physical,
It
it's.
starts, yeah, for most of us, it starts with the physical. And in this exercise, looking in the mirror, it's like once they're there, they're thinking about the thing they like, they absolutely like about themselves, and that thing they would like to change. Then a moment comes when they consciously, deliberately, on purpose, they accept both of them.
Let's continue our exercise after the short break.
Feed your soul with waves of consciousness on OMTimes Radio.
Hi, I'm Katrina Kavanagh, host of the I Am Wisdom radio show. I Am Wisdom is about the connection between mind work and energy work, spirituality, and living a wonderful life. Looking forward to sharing each Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with you.
OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
The truth is, you can't change the world if you're broke. I know, I tried. Isn't it time you turned your life's calling into a profitable, freedom-based business? I'm Michelle Barr. Join me every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern for Sacred Success.
The future of internet radio is here. OMTimes Radio, IOM FM.
And we are back. And we were talking about the processes, the tools that Nita will give us today.
Hi, Monica.
Hi, Nita.
Okay, let's start with this process, which has proved to be very effective in my case.
Sure, we would love to know that.
I will ask everyone to take a pause. Just be in the moment. Feel their presence. And we'll start with one thing. Let's bring into our awareness one thing that bothers them the most about themselves. It could be any physical feature, like we were talking. Maybe you don't like your eyes, color of your eyes. Maybe you don't like your hair, or you're too short, too tall. You think you're too short or too tall. Or it could be some personality trait. You don't like how you jump to conclusions, maybe. Or you feel that you are not good enough. Anything. The first thing which comes to your mind, which bothers you the most, think about it. It could be fear, it could be anxiety, anything. And don't forget to take deep breaths. You inhale and you exhale. One thing which is profound about breathing is it is always in the present. When we are thinking either in the past or in the future. Even when we are thinking about our things we don't like about ourselves or things we like about ourselves, still we are thinking in our mind, and it goes either in the past or jumps to the future. But breathing is always in the present. So take a deep breath in consciously and take a deep breath out. Now hold the thing which you don't like about yourself, hold it in your awareness. Hug it like it's your child. Accept it. Before you start into this planning to change this thing which you don't like about yourself, before you even begin to move towards fixing it or attempt to heal it, understand there is nothing to be fixed or healed. All is needed is your acceptance. Accept your anger. Accept whatever is bothering you. Honor its presence. Be with it. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Be with it. Feel it. Don't resist. Allow the energy to move through you freely, completely, totally. The thing which you don't like about yourself is not negative. It's purifying. It's part of your consciousness. The perfection completing with imperfection. Accept it. Is there, let it be. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Now bring into your consciousness the thing which you absolutely love about yourself. Absolutely love. Accept it. Honor it. Don't shy away from it. Allow it to move through you completely and totally. It is also part of your consciousness. Accept both. Honor both. Celebrate your uniqueness. your originality. Be proud of them. Take a deep breath in. Now exhale. Feel the presence in your body. The grace that's flowing towards you. The love that is you. Fall in love with the glorious mess of yourself, of what ifs and nots, for even that is divine if it's held in your loving presence. Bring it into your awareness. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Accept the person you are in the moment right now, with all the perfections and its imperfections. There's nothing lacking. There's nothing you are supposed to do. There's nowhere you have to go. Or someone you need to be. Honor your presence. You are unique. Take a deep breath in. Feel all the sensations and feelings in your body. Be with them. The totality of who you are. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Feel as if you're the only person in the universe and the entire universe loves you like a mother loves a child. Now look at your fingers, your skin with awe, wonder. Say a word. Ah. From where the sound comes. What a wonder you are. A marvel you cannot comprehend. The light that shines the entire world. Celebrate yourself. Be yourself. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Give yourself a big hug. Energies of the world are working with you, through you, for you. Take a deep breath in. Exhale.
So beautiful, Nita. Thank you so much. I'm sure our listeners really were able to connect with themselves. I was, and I needed it very much. I can feel the difference in me right now after this process. So, thank you so much for helping us connect with ourselves.
You're welcome, Monica. Thank you for having me here.
You know, it's our honor, it's our pleasure, and I'm looking forward to so many more conversations with you.
Likewise.
And I would again say, please go to www.nitagoyal.com and look into her amazing book, Seduction of the Mind, which is a true pilgrimage of spirit. Thanks so much again for joining us today. Thank you, Nita. Thank you, listeners. Have a blissful life. Namaste.